Last year, you watched as I clumsily made a kilt with a majority of it being made by our friend Jamie, because I had no idea what I was doing. This year I'm going to try again, but not for Randy, even though I have made improvements. But this year I'm going to focus on my family tartan, which is the Bruce clan. So this is the fabric. I have 4 yards of it. I wanted to show you this before I stuck it in the wash. There's a bit of an issue when the cotton was printed. It came out really dark. This green plaid here, that's supposed to be green, but it's so dark it almost looks black. And then there are 2 colors of stripes, these smaller stripes. One is supposed to be a light yellow and the other one's supposed to be a light pink. These turned out like so dark that this almost blends into the red behind it, and you can't really tell that they're yellow and pink. First thing I want to do before I get started on the skirt is wash this and see if I can get the color to fade just a little bit before I start sewing. But for now, what I want to do is wash this, get the starch out of it, and see if I can soften up the color scheme here. Here is the fabric in the full glory of the sunlight. See, window is open and the fabric is laid out, and you can see it's a lot more vibrant now. I have washed it and rinsed it twice. The red is really bright. You can tell the pink and the yellow here. The difference is here. A very light pink. And then the yellow, you can definitely see the green now, and against the red. Yes, I know my tartan is very Christmassy. I've heard that quite a bit. I've also pulled out my handkerchief skirt. It's 2 polyester scarves, square scarves that I've turned into a handkerchief skirt. So you can see there's 2 layers, just 2 handkerchiefs like right on top of each other with a hole in the center and a black waist to go over it. So this is something I made about 2 years ago, and I wanted to compare the skirt up against the new cotton fabric, and the skirt at this point is actually darker than the fabric. So with that said, I can begin cutting, marking, and then sewing. Alright folks, so here is the moment of truth. I have done all the math that I need to do according to my waist measurements and how long I need it to be. I need all this figured out before I get started, because the first task actually is usually, in most cases, the last one, which is finishing all the edges before I start with measurements. So I need to know how much to cut out for the entire block of the skirt plus the waistband. I mean, given that I'm pressed for time, I may or may not bother with interface, because that can be really tough to sew by hand, and I still don't have a machine. But for now, my focus will be measuring out my waist. Times 3 is 114 inches. I have 4 yards. I need to find out if I have enough. So 114 inches by 18 for the length. This side, you can see where the print ends because this is printed cotton and the ink only went so far. So this white strip here, that's going to make finishing this edge just a little bit easier. Tuck in just a little bit and then fold over. So the reason I do this is because I want as much of the print to show as possible. So now this white strip I left behind can be part of the allowance, and that part doesn't even show, like that, and voila. We have the fashion layer on the outside and a little bit of white seam allowance on the inside. We're just gonna pin this down and then I'm going to start sewing. Welcome to day 3. This is how much that I've gotten finished. It's folded over, but The length of it has been hemmed all the way across. All the way up here is also hemmed. All that I have left. So this will be today, and then I'll iron, finally be able to iron it with the hem in place so I can get that nice and straight.
That's becoming a skirt. Are you filming me? Mm-hmm. Okay, you should have warned me about that.
Yeah.
That's looking really good. I'm excited. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe. Isn't that what YouTube wants us to say? Our Lords and Master at Google? Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure you're very happy that I finally caved.